Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and I used to be a divorce mediator well over 20 years ago when I was very familiar with marriage counseling. And so familiar that I realized that marriage counseling destroys marriages. So I created a whole different system, and we've been using it very successfully. But really, it's all about helping individuals. I have found that marriage is an individual path that two of you take together. So everything that you do as an individual is either constructive or destructive. You, as an individual, have so much power in your marriage. And at the Marriage Foundation, we don't look at the flaws, we don't look at the past, except to learn a lesson. We look at what should we do in the future. So stating that, we're going to get into the 7 important things a wife needs from you. These are the tip of the iceberg. They're important things. They're not just good ideas. So remember that you're searching for marriage help for a reason. This is real marriage help. And the things that you're doing that are wrong are probably doing a lot of damage. So one thing I should point out, you may not know this, most people don't realize this, but it's usually the man who destroys the marriage, and it's usually the woman who ends it. It is not always the case, but it's usually true. I would say probably 80% of the time. And we're not taught about marriage, so you're not to blame, but you might say I'm putting the responsibility on you to turn things around, to make things better. And you could use one of our books. You should definitely subscribe to the channel. Take the course for men is the best way. But let's get into this topic of 7 important things your wife needs from you. Number 1, and this is important, your wife needs you to be kind and loving. And that means to never, ever express your anger. Again, your wife needs you to never lose your temper. Men do not realize this. Almost every man will admittedly say, yeah, I'm the stronger of the two. Yeah, I'm the one who is in the relationship as a protector. And then think of it this way. Think of it as if you hired a bodyguard and you guys become friendly, and one day you're walking down the street and your bodyguard pulls out his gun and he aims it at you. And he says, you know what I could do with this to you? He's fired. So the reason why is because he just showed that the power that he has, that you employed him for, he is thinking of using it against you. So how does your wife feel when you are showing her by losing your temper at her, not at some outside enemy, but at her, what you can do to her? She's tiny compared to you. And you need to be very aware of this. When women react by yelling back at their husbands, it's just their defense mechanism. They're using the offense as the best defense strategy, but you're really undermining everything. You can't look at her with a dirty look. You can't snarl at her. You can't express anger in any way, shape, or form. And you may be going, well, what if? And I don't care about what if. It's like pulling out a knife on somebody. That's how strong you are compared to her. So you can't do that. Again, your wife needs you to never lose your temper at her. At her. Some women are so sensitive that if you even show you're losing your temper towards someone else, it freaks them out. Now, have they trained themselves to not respond by running and hiding? Sure, probably. But it also closes off their heart to you, which is the last thing you want to happen. Okay, number 2. Your wife needs you to appreciate her. You know, and it's not so true anymore where men are the ones in the workforce and women stay at home, but that doesn't matter. Women have this natural insecurity. It just comes with the gender, where they are never sure that they are doing enough. And this is, again, nothing is 100% true, but this is pretty much universally accurate. You're her support. You're the one who she wants to please. Subconsciously, there's a need for her to please you. It runs very deep. So when you let her know how much you appreciate her, the advice that I give is show it every day, every single day. Even if all you can do is say, honey, I appreciate you. You're an incredible wife. It will really help your relationship. Number 3, your wife needs you to see her as beautiful. This is very important because a woman's power is in her beauty, and it was what attracted you to her in the first place. It is the way she gets the man she wants to marry her is by looking beautiful. And if you no longer acknowledge her beauty, and I don't care how old she is, I don't care how much weight she's put on, she's still incredibly beautiful. And you need to tell her. She needs it. And you need to fulfill that need so that her heart opens to you. Number 4, your wife needs you to love her. Now this is a big one. Most men go, yeah, I love my wife, but they never show it. They never express it. And so the women who are married to these men come to me and they go, he never shows me, I don't know if he loves me anymore. I think he doesn't. I think he might be having an affair. It's very important. And you should be telling your wife you love her constantly, and not just in certain ways. Come right out and say, I love you, honey. And then you could expound upon it, get poetic. You are in a small space called your marriage. There are just 2 of you in this space. I call it the sacred space. But consider it a vessel, a container. Just 2 of you. Now you could become cellmates in there, or you could work on being soulmates. As a soulmate, you open your heart, you express the love, and you increase the expression of your love more and more every day. Let her know. It's very important to her, and you want to know something, it's also very important to you. Because one of the things that we don't learn about in this world is we don't learn about love. We don't understand it. If you go to a therapist and you say, what's love? They'll tell you it's an emotion, and they'll tell you it's an exaggerated emotion. But you've had the experience of real love. You've had it with your kids. You've had it with your wife, where you feel this overwhelming love. There's no peer for love. It is the ultimate experience in life. And when you give your love to your wife wholeheartedly and unabashedly and unreservedly, then you're nurturing what your marriage is founded on in the first place, which is love. Let her know you love her. Don't be afraid. Only good can come of it. Number 5, your wife needs you to be affectionate. I didn't say sexual, I said affectionate. And oftentimes when you're affectionate, it can lead to sexual interaction. And when it does, most men stop being affectionate and the switch goes off and they revert back. And I say back because it's backwards to their primal instinct of I just want to, and they're not making love. And you want to be to your wife the extreme lover, the one who cherishes her, puts her on a pedestal, gives her love through the act of making love. And don't get into the reduction of sex for entertainment. Recreational sex occasionally is okay within a marriage, but it depletes both of you. So sex is something that should be used. You shouldn't be used by your primal instinct to get off. And it's very important. So when you're affectionate with your wife, don't put off having sex until it's time, quote unquote. No. Change your thinking on this. Become affectionate to your wife so that when sex does happen, it just happens. It's just part of what happens. And it's interesting, you'll find you'll have a lot more sex in your life than you've ever had. So this is something that's really lost to the mainstream. People don't understand this. Okay. Number 6, your wife needs you to admire her. And this is something kind of goes back to number 2, but more so. You need to admire all of her attributes, her beauty, her voice, her look, how she dresses, how she carries herself, how she makes meals, how she raises the children. All of these things come into play. Not just appreciation, but true admiration. This will make a huge difference. Number 7, your wife, and this is really number 6, but elaborated. Your wife needs you to be the mirror on the wall. Remember that old story, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Oftentimes, a wife will come to her husband and she'll go, how do I look? And the man goes, you look fine. And that's not what she's looking for. What she's looking for is, you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. That's what she's looking for. And that's why you married her. And it's not just about her beauty, it's about her intelligence, her style, her grace, everything. So do your best to work with these. These are principles. And all the principles that we have, and you could discover more by going to our website, looking at the books that we have, the course that we have. Everything is geared towards having a happier marriage every single day of your life and a more loving marriage every single day of your life. So that's it. I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Join me with our other videos. You will learn a lot. God bless and take care. Thank you for spending time. Appreciate it.